What if the most elite spy agency in the world wasn't run by governments, but by tailors? That's the premise behind Kingsman, The Secret Service, a 2014 action comedy directed by Matthew Vaughn, based on the comic book series by Mark Millar. It's sleek, it's stylish, it's brutally funny, and it completely flips the spy genre on its head. Strap in. This one moves fast. We open in the Middle East, 1997. A Kingsman agent named Lee Onwin is on a covert mission with his team. During a tense interrogation, a prisoner concealed a grenade. Lee spots it, throws himself on top of it, and saves his entire team, dying in the process. Back in England, a senior Kingsman agent named Harry Hart, codenamed Galahad, visits Lee's widow and young son, Gary. Gary is just a boy. Harry hands the mother a medal and gives her a number to call, saying one day it might come in useful. Gary looks up at Harry with wide, quiet eyes. He has no idea yet what any of this means. Cut to 17 years later. Gary Onwin, now going by Eggsy, is a young man living on a council estate in South London. He's sharp, athletic, and completely wasting his potential. We see glimpses of what he could have been: accepted into the Marines, gifted at gymnastics, naturally intelligent. But life got in the way. His mom remarried an abusive thug. His options narrowed. And so Eggsy drifts, getting into trouble, running with the wrong crowd. After stealing a car and getting arrested, Eggsy remembers that medal. He calls the number. Within hours, he's released without charge. And standing outside the police station is Harry Hart, impeccably dressed, completely calm, and utterly out of place on that street. Harry takes Eggsy to a tailor shop on Savile Row called Kingsman, a front for an independent intelligence agency that has no ties to any government. Their agents are named after the Knights of the Round Table. Harry is Galahad. Over a drink, Harry tells Eggsy about his father, how Lee was brave, and how he died saving others. He sees the same potential in Eggsy. Then, right on cue, the pub thugs, friends of Eggsy's stepfather, show up looking for trouble. And Harry handles it. Effortlessly. Brutally. Elegantly. He walks out without a hair out of place, adjusts his tie, and delivers one of the film's best lines about manners. Meanwhile, we meet our villain. Richmond Valentine is a tech billionaire played with gleeful eccentricity by Samuel L. Jackson. He has a lisp. He can't stand the sight of blood. And he has a plan to save the planet, though his definition of saving is extreme. Valentine believes climate change will destroy humanity. His solution: reduce the human population dramatically. He's been quietly acquiring resources, building infrastructure, and gathering powerful allies. World leaders, celebrities, billionaires, all being recruited into his circle. And those who refuse, disappear. His right hand is a woman named Gazelle, who has no legs, but has bladed prosthetic limbs that make her one of the most dangerous people alive. Harry proposes Eggsy for Kingsman candidacy. The position of Lancelot has just opened up, because the previous agent was killed in the field. Eggsy arrives at a countryside estate and meets the other candidates, all posh, well-connected, Oxbridge types who barely look at him. THS one exception, Roxy, who's quietly confident and immediately treats Eggsy like an equal. Training begins under the supervision of Merlin, the Kingsman tech expert, no-nonsense, dry, and brilliant. The tests are psychological and physical and designed to break people. In the first night, the recruits' room floods while they sleep. Several panic. Eggsy wakes up and calmly opens the door, which was unlocked the whole time. It was a test of observation over instinct. The tests escalate. Recruits are dropped from planes, shot at, sleep-deprived, pushed to their limits. Eggsy begins to distinguish himself: street smart where the others are book smart, intuitive where they're trained. He and Roxy push each other forward, but Eggsy also struggles. He's given a puppy to care for, told it will be part of his final test. He names it JB. He raises it. He bonds with it. And then there are the moments where his background holds him back, not in skill, but in confidence. He doesn't believe he belongs. Which, the film quietly argues, is exactly the kind of thinking Kingsman was designed to test. Back in the villain's storyline, Valentine has developed a SIM card, distributed free worldwide through his tech company, that, when activated, will send a signal that overrides the part of the human brain controlling aggression and inhibition. In short, it will make people kill each other. He tests it on a small community. The results are catastrophic. Everyone turns violent. Everyone dies. Valentine watches the footage. He gets queasy at the blood, but he doesn't stop. Meanwhile, a professor and a Swedish princess have both been captured after getting too close to the truth. The professor is killed. The princess is locked away. Harry has been tracking Valentine to a small church in Kentucky, a hate group that Valentine has been financing. Harry goes undercover to investigate, but Valentine activates his signal. And the congregation, normally already filled with rage and prejudice, snaps completely. What follows is one of the most extraordinary action sequences in modern cinema. Harry Hart, in a confined space, against an entire church full of people who have lost their minds. The choreography is breathtaking. The editing is surgical. The violence is operatic. Set to Lynyrd Skynyrd's Free Bird, Harry tears through the church in a single extended sequence that plays out like a brutal, balletic nightmare. And then, just as it ends, Valentine steps in. He shoots Harry in the head. The news reaches Merlin and the Kingsmen. Harry Hart, Galahad, is dead. Back at training, Eggsy faces the final test. He's handed a gun and told to shoot his dog, JB. He can't do it. He pulls the trigger and the gun is blank. But he doesn't know that. He refuses. He fails. The other remaining candidate, Charlie, a legacy recruit, passes. Roxy passes. Eggsy walks away, feeling like he's lost everything. He returns to the estate. His stepfather has gotten worse. His mother is afraid. Nothing has changed. But then Merlin calls. Roxy was selected, Lancelot. But something bigger is happening. And Merlin needs Eggsy. Valentine is almost ready. His SIM cards have been distributed to billions of people. His satellite network is in place. All he needs is to flip the switch. He's gathered the world's elite celebrities, politicians, royalty, in a remote bunker. Anyone with a chip implanted in their neck will be safe from the signal. Everyone else on Earth is expendable. The Swedish princess, still imprisoned, makes a deal with Eggsy through her cell wall. If he saves the world, she'll do something rather memorable. Eggsy, now in a Kingsman suit, teams up with Merlin to stop Valentine. Roxy handles the space side. She ascends in a balloon to destroy one of Valentine's satellites, eliminating part of his network. Eggsy infiltrates Valentine's mountain bunker. But the Kingsman leadership, specifically Arthur, the head of the agency, has already been compromised. Arthur has a chip. He's one of Valentine's people. He tries to poison Eggsy. Eggsy switches the glasses. Arthur drinks his own poison. Now it's just Eggsy, Merlin, and a mountain full of Valentine's guards. Valentine activates his signal. Globally, billions of people begin turning violent. But Merlin accesses Valentine's network and reprograms the implanted chips, the ones in every one of Valentine's recruited elites. He presses a key. Every head in the bunker explodes, simultaneously. In a sequence set to pomp and circumstance that is as absurd as it is spectacular, Valentine scrambles to stop the hack. Gazelle pursues Eggsy through the bunker. The fight between them is vicious and fast, her bladed legs against his Kingsman training. Eggsy wins, using one of her own blades. He finds Valentine. The signal is still broadcasting. Valentine pulls out a gun. Eggsy pulls out an umbrella bulletproof, with a taser. Valentine shoots, Eggsy doesn't flinch, and Valentine stares in disbelief. Eggsy puts a blade through Valentine. Merlin kills the signal. The world slowly comes back to itself. Eggsy returns to the bunker. He frees the princess. She keeps her promise. He goes back to his estate. His stepfather tries to intimidate him. Eggsy, calm as Harry Hart ever was, dismantles the situation without a word being wasted. The film ends with the quiet promise that Eggsy has become something new. Not just a Kingsman, but someone who earned it on his own terms, from nothing, against every expectation. Manners, it turns out, mocketh man. Kingsman, the Secret Service is a love letter to spy films and a sly critique of them at the same time. It celebrates style while poking fun at elitism. It gives us a classic underdog story wrapped in a very expensive suit. Colin Firth is extraordinary as Harry Hart, suave and devastating in equal measure. Taron Egerton makes Eggsy someone you genuinely root for. And Samuel L. Jackson turns in one of his most playful villain performances. The film would go on to spawn 2 sequels, The Golden Circle and The King's Man, but this original remains the one that defined what the franchise is: bold, funny, ruthlessly entertaining, and sharper than it has any right to be. If you enjoyed this recap, hit subscribe and leave a comment. What movie should I cover next? Manners mocketh man. See you next time.